Welcome back to the Doghouse YouTube fam. I'm gonna get straight into the video. I wanted to go ahead and knock this out before the game starts today. I don't know if I'm gonna be live or not. You know what I mean? It's a tune-up game, so I don't know if I want to go live for that. But anyway, um, I got few concerns about the 2025 season. And I think they're valid concerns. I think a lot of people see my videos and they try to challenge my concerns, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert. It's just me being a big time dog fan, and I'm covering the dogs. So I do a little digging. I do a little research whenever I speak about the dogs. I never say anything about the dogs without having valid research, right? So the last video, I had a concern with Julian Lewis not committing to Georgia, with him being an in-state player and him being a five-star quarterback, right? So of course we want the five-star quarterback. Of course we want the big arm, the dual threat, the legs, and we didn't get it. And you have some people in the comment section saying, "Well, Georgia was not even recruiting Julian Lewis." That's not true. It came down to the wire. It came down uh to Colorado or Georgia, and he decided to go with Georgia. I mean, Colorado, even though I felt like, Colorado probably offered him a bigger bag, and that's probably more than likely what happened, right? But it's rightly deserved. You can't expect players to come with this old school traditional way of committing to a team. You done made it a business when you brought the NIL. Now it's a business. I know it's still coaches out there that want to coach these guys up and help them in their regular life and things like that. But at the end of the day, this is a business. You know what I mean? Coaches get paid, players get paid, right? So anyway, let's move on, man. It is what it is. He committed. Shout out to Julian Lewis and Deion Sanders over there. So we all know that Kirby Smart likes to have 5 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster, right? So at this point, we only have 3 behind Carson Beck. Jaden Rashada, Gunnar Stockton, and Ryan Puglisi, right? Technically, we have 4 because we still have Ryan Montgomery. He just committed this year. So technically it's 4, but behind Carson is 3, and we need that means we need 2 more. So that's why I was so concerned with Julian Lewis not committing to Georgia, because I feel like if this is what Kirby is expecting, then this is what we need, right? Because you never know who gets hurt or whatever the case may be, and our record at Georgia with quarterbacks is not good, right? Um, the last 5-star quarterback we had that we actually started was Jake Fromm, right? Now, of course, we had Justin Fields, but we started Jake Fromm over Justin Fields. Justin Fields left and went to Ohio State and became a complete dog. You know what I mean? We lucked up with Stetson Bennett. Let's just be honest. We lucked up with Stetson Bennett. Nobody knew Stetson Bennett was going to be a 2-time national champion. Nobody knew that. Nobody didn't even think that we were going to start Stetson Bennett. But due to how bad DeJuan Mathis played in that Arkansas game, we had no choice but to start Stetson Bennett, right? But look what Stetson Bennett is doing in the NFL right now. Nothing. Okay. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to just bash Georgia and say we don't develop quarterbacks, but this is the way it's been seen. It's been seeming, right? Um, the last the only quarterback right now that's doing something in the NFL that came from Georgia is Matthew Stafford, if I'm not mistaken. You still hearing things from Justin Fields over there at Pittsburgh. But I just feel as if, Georgia may not be developing quarterbacks well. You know, Jacob Eason, to me, he was the best quarterback we had in the last 5, 6 years until he got hurt. This man had a crazy arm and he was accurate. So Jacob Eason, I think, would have been that guy for Georgia, but he got injured and they started Jake Fromm over him. And let's go to Jake Fromm. What is Jake Fromm? Just look at this. Look at what all of these players from Georgia in the last 5 or 6 years, none of them are doing anything in the NFL right now. None of them. Grayson Lambert, he was he to 2015 to 2016 ain't doing nothing right now, right? Jacob Eason, he's a free agent right now. Jake Fromm, he's not doing anything right now. Stetson Bennett, he's not doing anything right now. So that's why where my concerns come from with the quarterback decisions in the quarterback room. Are we developing the quarterbacks in the best way? And obviously, like I said, I got a valid reason to be concerned with that. Also with the running back position. I can't understand why it took them so long to start Nate Frazier. Like I didn't understand why they was trying to put that load on ETN. You know what I mean? And they did that for the most part. The offensive line was not, giving us any kind of room or making any kind of holes for ETN to run through. So it was kind of ETN still had a decent season this season with us, but it could have been better if the O line would have played better. But now that ETN is hurt, now they finally want to give Nate Frazier that chance. Nate Frazier, in my opinion, is a better running back than ETN. Or they could be neck and neck, which however you want to play it. You know what I mean? But why did it take so long to it's like for some reason Georgia doesn't like to start freshmen. Now, I get it. I'm not a coach. I'm not on the field with the players, so I don't know who's ready and who is ready. But I just feel like we have to start giving guys a shot. You know what I mean? That put us in better position with these games. Especially this season. You know, and a lot of people are know-it-alls. They pride it so much about Georgia. They just know everything about Georgia. But did you think that we were going to lose 2 games this season? Did you know that we were going to lose 2 games this season? You probably thought that we were going to be undefeated once again because you know it all, right? But that's neither here nor there. And lastly, the wide receiver position. This is another concern. So Georgia is going to have to make some critical decisions this offseason, right? These guys are committing for the 2025 class. So majority of the time, more than likely, they won't start in 2025, right? Because they just committed. So they probably are not going to start in 2025. So that's why I say Georgia got some critical decision making because at the wide receiver position, who do we have right now? Who do we have? I was talking to share the light at one point about this. Who do we actually have to be that guy or to be those guys for the wide receiver room? Let's pull up the roster, man, real quick, right? Let's pull up the roster, right? The running back roster. I meant the wide receiver roster, right? Okay, Dylan Bell, he's a junior. So we know Dylan Bell more than likely will come back. Um, Who else? I'm looking for guys that actually are on the field starting. Anthony Evans, he's a sophomore. We know he'll come back. London Humphrey, we know he'll come back. Dominic Lovett is a senior. He has a chance to come back. Arian Smith is a senior. He has a chance to come back. But do we really need these guys to come back? In my opinion, we do. We need some leaders in that wide receiver room, right? The rest of these guys, we have not seen any of these guys at any point of the season. So we don't know what any of these guys got to offer. We saw Nitro, we saw Sokovie White. I can't remember what game it was, but we saw they need to take Kobe Young off the doggone roster at this point. We saw Sokovie White, right? Then you got Oscar Depp down here. He's a junior. He'll be coming back. Lawson Luckily, obviously. Haven't seen Jaden Riddell. He was highly recruited, 6'4", 240 pounds. He was highly recruited. So I think my concerns are valid because we have tons of wide receivers. We haven't seen majority of them, right? We only seen a few of these guys. So we got 2 5 stars coming in, and once again, like I say, if you actually do your research on Georgia, you'll know that Taylor, yeah, he's a 5 star now, but he's reclassified. So yeah, kudos that we got a second 5 star, right? But he came in to college football as a 4 star, so that means somebody didn't believe he was a 5 star. But good. That's a good thing for us that we do have 2 5 star guys as far as the wide receiver room on the roster right now with Taylor and Elysis Williams. But I just feel like people will challenge your concerns like you don't have valid concerns. And I think, in my opinion is there are concerns with the quarterback position because it's gonna have to be a dogfight between Gunnar Stockton, Jada Rashada, and Ryan Puglisi. So my concerns is the quarterback position if Carson don't come back. The running back position with all of the running backs that's hurt, we barely have seen anything from Roderick or Branson Robinson. We saw Roderick Robinson, I think, in the Clemson game. He was doing okay in that game. And then he got hurt, and we hadn't seen him since. Branson Robinson, obviously, he came into the season hurt, and we got to see him. I can't remember what game it was, but we did get to see him later into this season. You got Nate Frazier in ETN. ETN will pretty much come back to Georgia. Hopefully, he does come back to Georgia. But my thing is, I'm concerned with the quarterback position, the running back position, and the receiver position. I think the O line can tighten up. But those three positions I am concerned with because of the simple fact that we have so many injuries with the running back position, and we've been having the last 5-star receiver we've had was George Pickens. That was the last Georgia commit, 5-star commit that we had was George Pickens. Everybody else was, 4, 3 stars. You know what I mean? So I think that's where our problem lies sometimes. And like I say, ultimately that's my concern. So, like I said, I wanted to make this a short video. I don't want to keep y'all that long with rambling because I could keep rambling on and on and on about different things. But I just wanted to do this, get this out the way because the game gonna start in a couple of hours, and I want to be laid back and chill for that. So, y'all stay tuned to the Doghouse, baby.